A great desert, hidden between dark mountains and dangerous cliffs, there existed a mysterious cave known only in legends. People called it the Cave of Endless Gold. According to ancient stories, the cave contained more treasure than an entire kingdom could spend in 1,000 years. But beside the entrance, one warning was carved into stone. Take only what you truly need. Most people laughed at the warning. After all, who would stop taking gold? One day, a poor but ambitious man named Kael heard the legend. Kael had spent his whole life dreaming about wealth. He hated being poor, hated watching rich people live comfortably, while he struggled every single day. Every night, he imagined a different life, a life filled with gold, comfort, and power. Then one evening, he whispered to himself, "This is my chance." Without wasting time, Kael packed empty bags and began his journey toward the mountains. The road was brutal. Sharp cliffs cut through the icy winds. Dark rivers blocked his path. Several times, he nearly gave up. But the thought of endless treasure pushed him forward. Day after day, step after step, until finally, he found it. The legendary cave stood silently between the mountains. Golden light glowed from deep inside the darkness. Kael slowly stepped forward, and the stories were true. Inside, gold covered the ground like sand. Jewels sparkled across the walls. Golden crowns rested beside ancient statues. Treasure chests overflowed with coins. Kael's breathing became heavy. His eyes widened with disbelief. Then he whispered softly, "I'm rich." The deeper Kael walked, the darker the cave became. Then suddenly, he saw it. At the center of the cave stood a gigantic golden throne, covered entirely in diamonds. The throne glowed brighter than sunlight. Kael's eyes filled with obsession. This alone could buy kingdoms. Without thinking, he rushed toward it. And the moment his hands touched the throne, everything changed. The entire cave began shaking violently. Rocks crashed from above. The ground trembled beneath his feet. Then, a thunderous voice echoed through the darkness. Gold was never the real trap. The cave shook harder. Greed was. Fear exploded inside Kael's heart. Desperately, Kael grabbed his treasure bags and ran toward the exit. But the bags were too heavy. He stumbled constantly. Gold spilled across the ground. The cave collapsed around him. Still, he refused to let go. "I can carry it," he shouted desperately. "I just need more strength." But every step became slower. And then, Kael saw something horrifying.
People who had entered long ago and never escaped. For the first time, Kael understood the truth. The cave had never trapped anyone. Their greed had. The ceiling above him began collapsing completely. Kael looked at the heavy treasure bags. Then at the tiny light of the exit far away. Tears filled his eyes. And finally, he made a choice. Slowly, he let the gold fall. The heavy bags crashed onto the stone floor. And instantly, his body felt lighter. Kael ran faster than ever before. Behind him, the cave collapsed with a deafening roar. And just seconds before the entrance sealed forever, Kael escaped. Exhausted, he fell onto the mountain ground breathing heavily. His hands were empty. No gold. No diamonds. Nothing. But slowly, Kael began laughing. Because for the very first time in years, he felt free. An old traveler passing nearby looked at him curiously. "Did you find the treasure?" Kael smiled quietly. "Yes." The traveler looked confused. "But you brought back nothing." Kael gazed toward the sealed cave. And replied softly. "I brought back myself." From that day forward, Kael no longer allowed greed to control his life. Because he had learned something hidden deeper than gold. A person who cannot say enough will never truly become rich. Moral of the story. Greed promises happiness through more, but often destroys the very things that matter most.